court.
Have a seat. In the name of Allah, most merciful, most compassionate, let the trial begin. Call upon the case.
Case number 14. سامح أحمد السنباطي. Present.
Indictment bill.
Sameh and Buck were playing video games while Buck's sister, Randa, watches. Buck told Sameh that he was going to buy some cola from the store. While Buck was gone, Sameh turned to Randa and he pulled the knife out of his pocket and told her to take off her pants and lie down. Randa told Sameh, "No, I don't want to." Thereafter, acquiescence, Sameh then raped Randa. Randa began to cry. Then Sameh grabbed a heavy pressed paperweight from on top of the desk and struck her forehead, killing her instantly.
Sameh, did you admit the charge?
No, sir. I was playing video games with her brother.
Then he went to bring cola. Then she asked me to make a sexual intercourse. After that, after we ended, I left the house, and I don't know anything after that.
That's all you wanted.
No, sir.
Prosecution can begin.
In the name of Allah, Mr. President, honorable judges, we will introduce our case today, hoping from God to guide us to the right. In 8 October 2018, it was weekend when Bakr invited his friend Sameh in the presence of his sister Randa, who was younger than them. And in the same day, while playing video games in the presence of Randa watching her brother and his friend playing, Sameh took the chance of being alone with Randa and began to rape her by 3 to force, as we will discuss later on. Bakr told Sameh that he is going to the store for purchasing some cola, leaving Randa with Sameh alone. At the moment that Bakr left them, Sameh began to approach Randa. And when he felt her refusal, he pulls out a knife of his pocket and tells her to take off her pants and lie down. Thereafter, Randa acquiesced under the 3 to force, using a knife, fearing about her life. When Sameh attempted to make a sexual intercourse, he was surprised by her cry, which made him confused, and killed her by brace paperweight was on the top of the desk and strikes Randa in the forehead, killing her instantly, as reported in the forensic medicine. Then, according to Article 276 of the Egyptian Penal Law, stated shall be punished by death penalty or life imprisonment. And from this article, we conclude that the defendant committed vital positive act during trying to make a sexual intercourse, but he failed of violation of victims' rights by removing virginity, and so the case has stopped. The crime has stopped at the level of attempt, and the defendant has made this act with a general intent, as knowingly about the components of the crime and will to occur bad result. And then we will explain our evidence. Although the victim was wearing pants, this doesn't preclude the defendant to commit his act, and this mustn't be used as a presumption for the victim's consent, as we mentioned before, that she was fearing about her life and her consent was illegal and unconsiderable. Your Honor, regarding murder elements, as determined in the Articles 234.
ثواني بس يعني انت عملتي وظيفه الدوله، يعني انت دلوقتي المفروض ان انت بتقولي انت كونسنت ان الفاجينال انتركورس كان with consent but with illegal consent مع ان في ريزيستنس، مش كده؟ يا بنتي ما هو كده في كونفيوجن في الكلام، هنا في ريزيستنس يبقى مفيش illegal consent، يبقى هنا without consent.
Your Honor, regarding murder elements as determined in the Article 234 of the Egyptian Penal Law, murder elements are murder act, intent, bad result, causation. The murder act as the defendant made a positive act by grabbing a brace paperweight from the top of the desk and strikes Rwanda in the forehead, which led to her death. This is the bad result, and there was a causal link between the defendant's act and the bad result. The defendant is the factual and legal cause of the bad result. Factual, as but for the defendant's cause, the bad result wouldn't have occurred, and legal, that the defendant's act is the proximate cause to the bad result. Murder intent divided into general intent as knowingly and well, and specific intent which is malice specific intent which is malice aforethought. Then we will explain our evidence about the act of murder. The defendant has hit a vital part in the victim's body which leads to her death, which is her forehead, made a trauma in the skull. So, we demand to impose the maximum penalty on the defendant according to Article 234 and 276 of the Penal Law.
هنا المالس الفوت قبل ما تقولي الديماندز بتاعتك، فين المالس الفوت؟ فين الايفيدنس بتاعتها؟ احنا قلنا انه ايه؟
هاتت the vital part.
سترايك هير اند فايتال بارت قلتيها؟ كملي.
So we demand to impose the maximum penalty in the defendant, which is death penalty according to Article 234 and 276 of the Egyptian Penal Law. Thanks.
Defense. Okay.
Your Honor and Counsel, it's on 8 October 2018. We lost their soul, random. The client who is best friend of her brother, they were playing video games. After that, her brother left the home. At this time, my clients climbed to Rwanda and they did sexual relationship as they used to do. After that, my client left the home. And this chat explained the relationship between my client and Rwanda. And this album of photo explain more details about this relationship. My client is accused of murder, combined with rape, and the rule of law, according to rape, according to Article 276, whoever lies a female without her consent shall be punished by this penalty or life imprisonment. This for rape accusation. According to murder accusation, the rule of law, according to 234 article, whoever kills a person deliberately without premeditation and ambush shall be punished without premeditation and ambush shall be punished by life aggravating imprisonment.
Like or aggravating imprisonment. مش like aggravating.
Shall be punished by life or aggravating imprisonment. By comparing the relevant facts with the rule of law, my clients can't be accused by rape, as if there consent, there is no rape. So I ask for innocence of my client. Thanks.
Because consent considered attendant circumstance.
Because
Which will not present in common.
I have a question, please.
thanks.
Do you consider that this child can be a presumption that they were in a relationship?
Definitely yes.
Mr. President, Honorable Consular, after hearing the briefing of my colleague about rape crime, it's my turn to present the defense accusation of murder crime, which is considered more harmful and dangerous. Regarding to the murder in this case, I would argue that some elements of this crime are not recognized yet for several reasons. According to the prosecution investigation, when Randa began to cry, the accused grabbed the heavy paperweight from the desk, from the top of the desk, and struck her in forehead, killing her instantly. The fact betrayal out that my client left the victim's brother's house before her death, and after his brother back went to store to purchase some cola. So the murder criminal act and general intent wasn't recognized. The prosecution couldn't prove the specific intent, malice aforethought beyond reasonable doubt. Malice aforethought couldn't recognize because he didn't desire to kill her. Therefore, the defense demands the innocence of my client from the charges attributed to him because 3 reasons. The first, the present evidence by the prosecution couldn't prove criminal intent and criminal act beyond reasonable doubt. Second, the lack of the evolution of certainty. Third, the prosecution couldn't stand on the attendant circumstances of each crime.
That's all you have.
Of course.
Call the expert.
Fatma Abul Aziz.
Yes, sir.
Raise your hand. Swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. Go ahead.
After autopsy of the frontal corpus, I realized that there were sculptures and scrapes in many parts of corpus. 2 defendant fingerprints on TV, 3 traces of Samah's blood on the corpse, traces of Samah's semen outside
Over the corpse.
Regarding 2 murder acts, I realized bloody gore of the neck portion.
What's your evidence to prove that the blood belonged to the defendant?
I get a sample of Samah's blood that was absolutely identical to what was found over Randy's corpse.
So, You said that you found the semen in the body. How did you know that semen is belonging to the defendant?
I get a sample of of سامح's semen. I get a sample of سامح's semen that was absolutely identical, which was found on Rwanda's corpse.
Do you want to say anything else?
No sense.
Can I ask a question?
Okay.
Could you tell me what's your evidence that my client who was killed here?
Do you have an answer?
Yes, sir. I realized a bloody pool on the neck of the corpse.
Okay.
So
Anything else?
No, sir.
Prosecution would like to add anything?
Yes.
Okay.
In response to defense, we shouldn't interpret the victim's consent, the victim's acquiescence as an acceptance by her to the rape act because her consent wasn't legally recognized. And we conclude that from the forensic report, which clarified that there was a resistance from the victim. So we can conclude that the victim's consent as an attendant circumstance is not legally recognized in the current case. Thanks.
Defense, has any reply?
No, sir.
Judgment after deliberation.
Court.
انتوا قررتوا ده الغلطه بنفسك. انت ما تقعدش ان هو يعمل كده عادي. انت قعدت في المره اللي هو كان رفض لسه ما خدش مكانه. وقلت همسك وهو رفض لسه ما خدش. انت قعدت ما خدش بالك ان رفض لسه ما خدش البوزيشن بتاعه.
In the name of Allah, after giving the referral order, the request of the public prosecution, the defense pleading and arguments, and receiving the papers and the forensic report, the legal deliberation, and after proving certainty of guilt evidence, as a result of being in Randa's house alone, Samih turned to her, pulled a knife out of his pocket, and told her to take off her pants and lie down. Firstly, she told him she don't want to, but thereafter acquiesced. He put his penis into her vagina, which led her to cry. Then Samih grabbed a heavy brass paperweight and struck her in the forehead, killed her instantly. Whereas the evidence presented by the defense is inadequate and not convincing to the court, the defense claimed that what happened was a consensual relationship between the accused and Randa, which is opposed to the right, according to all circumstances related to the crime and the forensic report. Whereas the defendant has full legal capacity and criminal liability, and his bad conduct involving a serious prohibited act which violates Articles number 234 to 126 of the Egyptian Penal Code. God says in the Holy Quran, أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا. صدق الله العظيم. For these reasons, and after reviewing the articles number 276, 234 of the Egyptian Penal Code, and as a result of judges' consensus, the court rules in presence to refer the accused's papers to the Grand Mufti of Egypt.
كويس يا دكتور. انا فخور بيكم بلاقي في بعض الاخطاء